Craftsman Furniture Repairs is a continuation on of my father's business. My father started Bradley Upholstery back in 1977. He always had a big emphasis on craftsmanship in all the disciplines of furniture restoration, whether that's frame making, whether that's cutting the fabric, whether it's sewing the fabric on the machine, whether it was upholstering the fabric onto it was all an emphasis on craftsmanship and attention to detail. You know, if you got it right in the workshop, he'd say, "Son, you're a craftsman," you know. And it's just things like that you remember. Now that he's gone, you know, you remember that type of thing. And that's one of the reasons why the name is Craftsman Furniture Repairs. It's more of a homage to my dad. Over the years, it's kind of morphed over now into what we're doing today, which is more so leather restoration, small upholstery repairs. Rather than big upholstery projects now, we'll tackle the smaller projects in-home on site. Usually, an upholstery place will turn those jobs away. So customers are finding it difficult to get these small jobs repaired. What we find is if you're already set up as a mobile workshop, you go to the customer. So these smaller jobs that customers could never really get repaired before, like broken springs or scuffs, damage, things like that. You know, now there's a service where the workshop will come to the customer. And I find that's what sort of separates us from a lot of other places, because we will go to the customer and we'll do the job there and then. We'll put forward some suggestions as to what we can do for the restoration, whether that's repadding it up in terms of bringing back the plumpness, fixing springs, tightening up the framework, or completely restoring the colour to the leather. All of that can be taken care of on site. It's grown in terms of dealing with different sectors. So not only do we do domestic repairs where we're on site and go to the customer, but we'll also provide a service to retailers and manufacturers. So there's many different businesses across various sectors, such as medical, you know, even the beautician sectors, gyms, hotels, restaurants. They can't really afford to close down their establishment simply because their furniture needs to be repaired or restored. That's where we will come in. We'll bring the workshop to them. We'll do individual items one at a time so that they have no downtime. It's been a success in the sense that it's more convenient for the business owners. They don't have to close their establishment. What we're sort of aiming to do is change the way this business is done. Traditionally speaking, if you had an issue with your furniture, you sent it off to a workshop or you replaced it completely. Well, there's a lot more emphasis today on restoring and renewing. We'll always do the absolute best we can in terms of restoring the furniture to the peak that it can be restored to. And I'll always try and push that little bit further to try and get the job done to the way I feel that I would want it done if it was mine. What you're really looking for is the attention to detail and to get it as good as you can possibly get it without overworking it. My favorite part of the job would be as I get towards the end of the project, when I start seeing everything come together and I get that feeling of job satisfaction knowing that I've done the best I can. That's my favorite part.